This is part 3 of my 3-video series showing you how to create a solid granny square with a tight join and a simple border. In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet the camel stitch border, which is very easy to do and gives your project a ribbed look along the edge. If you haven't watched the previous 2 videos, I'll have links for them in the description box below. The border looks nice if you use some of the colors from your blanket or completely different colors. It's really up to you. So grab your crochet hook and yarn and let's have some fun making the camel stitch border. Before we get started on the camel stitch, I want to go around the blanket with a very simple single crochet stitch to give the edge a nice straight look and hide any imperfections where the squares were joined. We'll make the corners in exactly the same way that we did our squares, with a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. You can start in any of the chain 2 corner spaces along the edge of your blanket. There are different ways to do a standing single crochet, but I like to do things a little differently. I go into the back loop of the first chain in the chain 2 space, lay the yarn over my hook, and pull up a loop, and then I insert the hook into the chain 2 space and do a single crochet. Chain 2, and do another single crochet into the same chain 2 space. I like to work over my ends so you can see that I just have that tail near the top and I'm catching it as I stitch. We'll single crochet in every stitch of each side. Don't worry, I'm not going to take you through the entire round, but I do want to show you how to stitch at the intersection of 2 squares. Sometimes when we join squares, you'll see a dip in the edge at the corners. So to conceal that dip and have a nice straight edge, you insert your hook into the first chain 2 space and pull that loop up tall. Insert your hook into the next chain 2 space and pull that loop up tall, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. That is known as a decrease or single crochet 2 together. Continue doing a single crochet along each side with the decrease at each intersection of 2 squares. Each of your 4 corners will be single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. I'll meet you at the end of this round. And you can see the result of doing that decrease at the intersection of 2 squares. It gives you a beautiful straight edge. I'm at the end of the round with 2 stitches left, so I do 2 single crochets and slip stitch into that beginning standing single crochet. We need to do a foundation round before we can do the camel stitch. So chain 1 and half double crochet into that same standing single crochet that we just joined. We're at the chain 2 space. We're going to put 3 half double crochets into every chain 2 space of the 4 corners. You may find it helpful to put a stitch marker into that second half double crochet. This becomes the new corner stitch in the next round. Half double crochet in each stitch along the side, and when you come to your next chain 2 space, put 3 half double crochets into that same chain 2 space. I'm at the end of the round, so I have 2 stitches left. Slip stitch to the first half double crochet of the round. Cut your yarn, fasten off, and sew in your tail. We start the camel stitch in this round. Make a slip knot with your next color and insert the hook. We'll be joining into that second half double crochet of the 3-stitch corner. Normally we work under both top loops of the stitch, but for the camel stitch, we'll be working into the 3rd loop. So tilt the work toward you, and you can see that 3rd loop, which is right below the back loop of the stitch. Here's the back loop, and here's the 3rd loop. That's what we'll be stitching into. It's very easy to see, but if it helps you, use that stitch marker in the previous round to indicate the 3rd loop of the middle stitch. Join your new color in any corner stitch. It doesn't matter which one. Yarn over, and we'll do a standing half double crochet into that 3rd loop. Insert your hook into that 3rd loop, yarn over, and pull up a loop. It gets a little tricky to hold on to this while you're doing a standing half double crochet, but I find it helpful to hold on to that tail. It just helps me get the hook through a little easier. Put 2 more half double crochets into that 3rd loop. The second half double crochet becomes our new corner stitch in the next round. Again, you can always use a stitch marker if it helps you to find that second stitch. We'll do this round exactly like we did the previous round, only now we're working into the 3rd loop. So half double crochet in each stitch of the side, and in each corner stitch, you'll put 3 half double crochets into the same 3rd loop of that stitch. Working into that 3rd loop pushes the top loops of the stitches of the previous round forward, giving you a ridged look. Continue stitching, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. I'm at the end of the round with 2 stitches left. And I'll do an invisible join to the first stitch of the round. After completing the last stitch, cut your yarn and pull it through. Thread the tail onto a yarn needle. We'll be working into the first stitch of the round, going under both loops from bottom to top. Insert the needle between the 2 top loops of the last stitch completed. We'll be pulling the needle through from front to back. And make any adjustments to the chain to make it the same size as the surrounding chains. Repeat this round as many times as you want to make a wider border, and you can use as many different colors as you like. You can see the post of the stitch of the last camel stitch round that you do. So we end by doing a simple slip stitch round to push those top loops of the previous round forward. Join your new color in any stitch of the round. We'll continue working in the 3rd loop. Insert your hook into the stitch, lay the yarn over your hook, and pull up a loop. That's your slip stitch. You'll do a slip stitch in every stitch of this round. It's best to slip stitch loosely and try to make sure that your stitches are equal size for a more uniform look. I'm at the end of the round, so I'll do my last couple of slip stitches and end with the last stitch before the stitch where I joined. Cut the yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. We'll do an invisible join. Let's take a closer look at the border. I really love the camel stitch border. It really gives this blanket a beautiful finished look and makes the border stand out. I hope you enjoyed this video series. If so, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new. I have a lot more crafty and crochet projects coming, so be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on my future videos.